Hello people of the internet, welcome to Paint to Life episode 50, the YouTube channel where I take tiny plastic miniatures, throw some acrylic paint on them, and breathe life into them with storytelling so you might learn something new on the subject or take the story to make it your own. This is the 1-year anniversary of the first episode of Paint to Life, so I decided to paint the biggest miniature ever made in the whole world. How do you think it went? No. I'm GM Atank, let's get painting. Alright, imagine this. You're an evil, powerful dragon. Any color, any type. You don't want to die, so you use tremendous magic to create an artifact called a phylactery, which is designed to hold your soul when you die. Then you have many clerics and mages who serve you out of veneration or fear, perform a ritual on you, culminating in you drinking a lethal concoction that kills you outright. Oh, thanks, honey. But the unholy magic has you. You cannot die. Your soul is captured by the aforementioned phylactery. Your faithful only need touch the artifact to your body, and your soul is returned, back into the husk, rotting away, held together with powerful magic. Now you truly are unstoppable, for if your body is destroyed again, your soul into your phylactery, and you'll repeat the process indefinitely, transferring into any dragon corpse, or any reptile for that matter. For as long as that artifact exists, you're immortal. You're an undead Dracolich. Dracolich. Now really quickly, this gets missed all the time, I'm told. The painting video that's going to run up here during the episode is going to be released on Tuesday for you to watch if you want to paint along at home. I painted this Dracolich to life and created my own unique story, which I'm going to share with you right now. Powerful in life, unstoppable in death, a Dracolich is hesitantly referred to by the wise, and then only in reluctant whispers and hastily destroyed symbols. For it is said, names have power, and woe to those whose brash utterance is deemed a calling. The more powerful the dragon corpse they choose to inhabit, the more enhanced their abilities and magic will be. Now in the world of Faerun and the Forgotten Realms, one of the most influential dragons to have ever lived was a titanic red dragon known as Dracolich. He was a unique creature for his kind, diametrically opposed, possibly suffering from schizophrenia, both tyrannical and merciful. He championed the development of some mortal societies and outright destroyed others, with no rhyme or reason of how each was picked. He chose to have no offspring because he couldn't find a mate worthy of his seed, nor would he have accepted the potential of descendants ruining his legacy. And he ruled much of the entire world for 7,000 years. Finally, he grew. He opted to sleep deep within the earth. He had an underground palace made from of beautiful white marble. Emissaries from around the world came and visited to pay tribute to ensure he would want for nothing during his long sleep, and he might be content, lest waking up and, ruining it for everyone again. And finally, everyone who knew the location or was involved in the construction of the palace was slain to ensure that no one would ever dare disturb the great beast's slumber and reawaken him. Well, no worries, because the sleep took him, and he literally died in it. 20,000 years would pass. 20,000, that's 5 zeros. And literally all memory of Dracolich would fade from history, except for the minds of very few dragon kind, both evil chromatics and good metallics alike. Tordek Irongall was a very prosperous dwarven thief. He had a pretty good business going for himself, and he ate well. But as with many mortals, it's never good enough, is it? So Tordek takes on a mission for some evildoers, followers of a terrible master far away to the east. The job is simple enough: steal a very specific blue gem from a rich noble. Tordek overheard his conscriptors talking about all kinds of gems that their master was going to be choosing from. Well, he had no idea that the master of whom they spoke was an ancient blue dragon named Skyrend, or He Who Rends the Sky to the tribespeople. Now, Skyrend had a very long and prosperous life so far of about 1,500 years, but as he's been aging, he's becoming more and more afraid of death. He shrugged off worshipping any gods and therefore does not believe that there will be anything waiting for him when he dies. Our dwarf Tordek does so well in the job that the muscle decide to strong-arm him into continued employment for Skyrend. At first, it's okay, more work, more business, but the jobs become less thiefy and more evilly. So ultimately Tordek tries to disappear and return home to his family. Of course, years later, Tordek finds his entire family slaughtered by the Order. They tell him they have given him a great gift, freed from the bonds of responsibility, and now he can give his full attention and allegiance to Skyrend. This devastates the dwarf. Retribution, failure, attempts to flee would result in entire generations of Iron Gulls, his kin, being wiped out completely, and the Order had the ability to do it. So for 50 years thereafter, Tordek, full of shame and guilt, is assigned to assassinate important members of the Resistance who are actively trying to organize against Skyrend and the Order. Speaking of Skyrend, from his lair in the desert, he had finally discovered the solution to his death dilemma, and that was to just never die. His servants prepared the great ceremony, his phylactery had been crafted, he drank the magical brew, and as expected, he dies. His soul doesn't escape into the afterlife, it's trapped in his phylactery, in his great treasure room, surrounded by all of his wealth atop of a pedestal. And with that, the phylactery is touched upon his corpse, and his soul is transferred back into his reanimated undead form of a body. He is now an even more formidable opponent, a Dracolich with a new name, Oblivion's Flame. Body crackling with electricity and energy, and a flaming blue breath of purple electrical fire. Years into this creature's rule, and he brings nothing but chaos. One afternoon, Tordek finds himself crying. His entire city was destroyed by Oblivion's Flame, including many of his family he had spent long years suffering to protect. All attempts for people in the region to rise up and resist the tyranny are failing due to missing, murdered, elements of leadership and intelligence, a testament to the work of the once proud thief, now assassin. Ultimately, Tordek has had enough. He's going to run. But first, he's going to break in and steal a memento from the treasure room. Now, of course, the Dracolich phylactery is priceless and the most important item in the treasure hold. To maintain his immortality, Oblivion's Flame must make sure it always stays with his trusted allies so that he can use it to capture and transfer his soul between vessels in the event he's destroyed. And as much as it would be tempting for Tordek to destroy the evil artifact, there's no way for him to do so within his means, and he knows it's trapped with powerful death magics and wards. As he surveys the hoard for something to grab, there, among some silver coins, he sees the very blue gem that he had been commissioned to steal all those many years ago. He knows the act of taking it will most likely cost him his life, but to him there was a sort of poetic balance to it, like rolling back time. So he snatches it and flees from the temple, destination unknown.
Whatever happened to that dead Titan Dragon, Dracolich?
Meanwhile, the Dracolich Oblivion's Flame has just been made aware that a recent earthquake has unearthed a buried, white, marble tomb containing an immense dragon corpse. The Dracolich believes he knows what it is, so with haste he directs all of his forces there, slaughtering all in their way. And once there, Oblivion's Flame gazes upon the ancient remains of Dracolich, missing for some 20 millennia. This is what Skyrend always wanted, true invincibility. He would transfer his soul from this diminutive blue dragon animated corpse to this great titan whose mere bones already ripple with magical energies and untapped power. Despite already being at the height of his power and influence, this would make him absolutely unstoppable. He commands all of his forces to destroy his body so that his soul might be freed and raised again within this great vessel. After the assaulting magics blast the Dracolich body into pieces, as expected, his soul returns to his phylactery. But something happened then that Oblivion's Flame did not intend. When his faithful servants go to the treasure room to retrieve the artifact, it's missing. Not the decoy, meant to kill intruders and distract any would-be heroes or thieves, but the actual phylactery, a beautiful fist-sized labradorite piece, hidden in plain sight. The very same piece, pulsing with invisible evil energy, the soul inside panicking, trapped, waiting to be released, that is sitting in the thief's backpack, between some cheese and sausages, while the owner rides, unwittingly, into a new life for himself, hoping to be able to do some good to offset all of his evil deeds and misdeeds, completely unaware that his actions may have already, inadvertently, saved the world. Oblivion's Flame, the Dracolich. Alrighty, here is Oblivion's Flame for the shelf. I'm really intrigued by the idea of this story and how you might use it in your own campaign. Do you think Tordek figures out what he has, what he's carrying? Do the agents of Skyrend track him down and maybe get it, or has he already traded it or done away with it? Very interesting indeed. I hope you liked that story. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Special thanks to my colleague Rob for christening Skyrend and giving me a nice write-up about the Dracolich to work with. And a special thanks to all of you viewers who are here from the beginning or have been joining since. 1 year, almost to the day. And when I look back at some of those old episodes, it's a lot of fun to be had and plenty more to come in the future. So thanks for supporting. Share, like, subscribe, leave comments. It helps me grow the channel and I really appreciate it. Head on down to your friendly local gaming store and pick yourself up some miniatures to get in the miniature painting hobby. I doubt you'll find that. That's the Reaper Bones Kaladrex. That's been out of print for a couple years. I never thought I would paint it in a million years because it was so big, and now there I've done it. It was a lot of pain to paint. If you want to hear some funny anecdotes, watch the painting video on Tuesday to find out more. Finally, a quick shout out to Liam, who painted the giant constrictor snake from episode 47, Teotl, the rainbow boa. Here's a picture of his finished work. It's quite great. So thanks for sharing that. I thought I'd share it with the rest of you all. Anyways, that's all I have for you tonight. I'm GM Atank. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, wash your hands. You don't want to die, so you use tremendous magic to create a prophylactory